English Home Language, Lesson 23. Topic: Language. Style and use of language. Turn to Lesson 23 in the Learner's Workbook. This lesson includes an individual activity with peer assessment. Integration. Language skills will help you in all subjects. Prior knowledge. Your previous language skills will be further developed in this lesson. Lesson overview. In this lesson you will discuss the style and use of language.
Hello everyone, I'm Janet.
And I'm T.
And we're going to be looking at Learning Outcome 4, which is language. And you know that you're expected to be able to use language structures and conventions appropriately and effectively. Now, in a previous lesson where we were discussing punctuation, it was that article about the baboons. And in that lesson, we looked at the use of capital letters, some of the uses of the comma, and the uses of the apostrophe. Now, punctuation is really very important. Learners must remember that punctuation is for the eyes. You see the punctuation mark and you're meant to understand it, interpret it, and know what it means. Remember, every punctuation mark has its own meaning. And it's really important that we discuss punctuation in your language lessons so that then you use punctuation effectively. So it's not only correctly, it's effectively in your writing. We're starting this lesson with italics.
Italics are letters which have been printed so that they slope to the right.
Now, if we look at our article about baboons, it's the same article that we were looking at in a previous lesson. We are now letting our eye run down the column and we're looking for italics. So if we go down, the first one is we stop there. In this dozy tranquility is illusory, in a sort of Stepford wives' way. Why italics there?
This is the name of the novel.
Right, so that's a novel. If we go down, let's have a look over here to Boho. She herself is an unashamed baboonista. Remember we talked about that.
Yes.
And shows me a copy of Chakma Holds the Mirror, a play she wrote in 1998. Why the italics?
Because this is the name of the play that she wrote.
Right. And then there's one more example, which is at the bottom of that column. If you look down here, many locals seem surprised that they come down and raid the village. That's the baboons.
Yes.
And feel, that's the locals, they feel caught in a nightmarish, never-ending scene from Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
That's the name of a movie.
Yes. So what do we see? That in print, italics are used for the titles of
novels, plays, and movies.
But then what would we do if you are writing? A number of my learners say, well, they'll make their handwriting slope. How do you show it when you are writing?
Well, in magazines and movies, we would put it in inverted commas, and in plays and books, we would then underline it.
That's it. Let's look at our next punctuation mark. It's the semicolon.
The semicolon is used to separate sentences which are closely related. Thus, it stands in place of a full stop to separate two thoughts without separating them as a full stop would.
All right, so if you say, this is Tebogo, full stop, she is my learner. It's two separate ideas and I'm saying it's really unlinked. But if I say to you, why is she sitting here with me today? It's, this is Tebogo, semicolon, closely linked. She's my learner. And I'm saying that's basically why she's here. I'm linking the idea of who she is to, in terms of her name, her identity, to who she is in relation to me. So the full stop would say it's got nothing to do with each other. The semicolon would say read the sentences more closely together. Let's look in our article. We're talking about the village. And we've got something about the morning sun over there and the ocean here, the mountain. And then we have this sentence. The only sound is the crash of waves. The village could be suspended in amber. What is the effect of the semicolon there?
It's between sentences when the second explains or expands the first.
Right.
For example...
No, just wait. Right, so here we've got the only sound is the crash of waves.
Yes.
So what is being emphasized about this village? It is very
Quiet.
Then the village could be suspended in amber. If you're suspended in amber, you're held as if frozen. So notice that Tebogo was right. The second sentence is expanding the idea of the quietness, the stillness of that particular village.